Well, for me, mostly it's my hair. It's always my hair and my skin. So sometimes they would like, they would do this thing like there's something on you, like, what's that?
Well, I think any teacher, even not just English, but any teacher who decides to teach in China, I think you need to have patience.
Welcome to this special edition of our YouTube channel where we explore the experiences of foreign English teachers in China. Teaching English in China is a popular choice for many people looking to broaden their horizons, experience a new culture, and gain valuable teaching experience. In this video, we will be interviewing two English teachers who have taught or are currently teaching in China. They will share their experiences, insights, challenge, and tips for teaching English in China. Whether you are considering teaching in China or just curious about what it's like, this video is for you. So sit back, relax, and join us as we delve into the fascinating world of teaching English in China. If you love videos like this, consider subscribing to this channel.
My name is Samisha, and I am from the United States.
My name is Siobhan and I'm from Jamaica.
I've been in China for 6.5 years. I'm an English teacher at a college, a medical college.
What inspired me, actually, when I graduated from university, there was this agent that came to my school to give us some information about working in China.
Well, I first started when I was in college. There was a event where they would hold sessions about teaching English abroad.
I didn't really want to come to China, but then over time I kind of warmed up to it and made my decision to come here.
And so even though I didn't get a degree in education or teaching, but I did decided to take this course because I thought it was interesting and I wanted to, also travel.
Well, I had my bachelor's degree, and then the other requirement was for me to do a TEFL certification. So I did that, and then I applied to some schools online.
So I was like, okay, so I decided to take a class and get my certification in TEFL, and here I am. The biggest challenges I have faced was language barrier and also the tone of my voice as well as the speed, because I had to slow down my speaking for students because apparently I talk too fast.
Some of the biggest challenges, I would say, having assistant teachers that aren't really helpful.
And I think that's a problem that a lot of foreign teachers have, where the students, feel that they talk too fast. So I had to, slow down speed so they can understand me.
Because you're teaching students that they don't understand English, they're learning it for the first time. So if you don't have a good assistant to translate some of the things to the students, then it's pretty difficult.
And also, I've tried to learn a few Chinese words to, ask them questions and stuff. So yeah, but it's working out pretty good. I think the reception is pretty good. It's I've had really good experiences in China. I haven't really had any negative experience with society. Of course, the staring can be a lot, and people wanting to take pictures with you, but overall it's been a positive experience.
So far I have used videos, music, anything that's helpful, relating to the topic, to help the students learn.
My typical day is, my lessons are already planned out before I start classes, so it's I plan my lessons and PowerPoints ahead of time before the semester starts.
For me, I do my lesson plans on Saturday. During the week I have classes from 9 to 11. Then from 11 to 3 I have lunch. And then from 3 to 4:30 I have 3 more classes.
So I just go to class and like I get up to the computer and like put in my USB drive and have the PPT up, have the textbook up as well. And so we just go from there. So it's like really not a lot of work.
My kindergarten doesn't require me to go outside and play with the students because each class have a different schedule. So what I do is I just teach my English classes and then I leave, and that's it. And on Saturdays when I'm home, I sit down and plan for each class.
What I do for my PowerPoint presentations, I like write them in English and in Chinese. So whenever I have like questions or definitions, idioms, terms that they like, need to know, I put it in both English and Chinese. So that was the main problem I had, where I would get feedback from my school and they'd be like, hey, the students, they don't understand. So I was like, oh, well, let me just put, the PowerPoints in Chinese as well so that they'll be able to understand.
I would say the main thing is having patience. It's so important because it's like the students, they're like babies.
Well, I think any teacher, even not just English, but any teacher who decides to teach in China, I think you need to have patience.
Their main language is Chinese and they're learning English for the first time, most of them. So you have to pace yourself and understand that it's new for them.
It's like, even if you are taught back in your home countries, your like teaching skills versus here is not the same. And so your students are not the same as well. So I think you need to have patience when it comes to your students.
And if you don't have patience, you'll just get frustrated and then you won't like the job. So you have to give them time.
Being open-minded, yeah, being open-minded, definitely. You need to be open-minded as well. Yeah, so I honestly say patience and being open-minded.
For me, picture aids are very good. Having flashcards so that they can see the pictures and also like real life toys.
Well, it's like I do, like my students, like they're college students, so they're young adults. So a lot of them use their phones a lot in class. So many of them, I notice when I walk by, they have their translators on. So the translator is going once I'm speaking, so they use that to translate.
So if you're teaching about an apple, a banana, then it's good to have it so that they can see it and touch it and understand exactly what you're saying. If you're teaching colors, it's good to have like some paint, Play-Dohs, anything that they can relate to in real life.
And which I also use my translator on my phone as well for those who, their English skills are not that good. So translating applications also help.
Videos are also good. Like you can find videos online and it's pretty helpful and they really enjoy them a lot as well.
Cultural differences.
Well, as it relates to the cultural differences, I'd say there are many. Simply because of different upbringing, different parts of the world, but I try not to let it bother me.
Really, I think the, restrictions as well. It's like, they'll tell you like what you can or cannot talk about in the classroom.
I just do what I can and stay away from certain topics because certain topics you're not allowed to talk about either in school with the children, even with the teachers. So I just stay away from those topics and not let it bother me, the cultural differences that arise.
Whereas, back in the US, it's like you can talk about anything in the classroom, but here it's like you really can't. So it's like you have to be mindful of what you say.
I get stares sometimes because many people, they've never seen like a black person before. They would touch my hair, look at my hair, and sometimes they would say Jaffa, meaning if it's fake or not. But for the most part, they're just curious, I think they're just curious and they really don't mean you any harm.
well. Like my school has now updated like all their computers and like classrooms, so now we have more like touchscreen technology in the classroom and stuff like that, and there's monitors on both sides of the classroom as well as in the middle of the classroom.
Well, at my current kindergarten, we have students' book and teachers' book. So the students' book outlines everything that I'm supposed to teach the students step by step,
To where the students can view the PowerPoints and stuff and everything. And so that's pretty easy, and it's like, that's great. The computers as well. So now we have where students can like listen to audio as well as listen to their teachers speak. And so it's very helpful.
It even specifies specific games that I'm supposed to use with specific topics. So for example, if the topic is fruits, it would tell me that I need to play this specific game with these set of specific toys and use this specific music.
And also, like because there's, lockdown and stuff. So whenever we're not able to teach in a classroom, we're able to go online and do online classes. So that's good as well.
I remember one time, like when the semester just started, we were learning about dinosaurs, and it recommended to me that I should use like a clip from a dinosaur movie that I can find online. So it gives suggestions and tips that I am supposed to use in class. And the teacher's book as well, it outlines all of these things. So I have the student's book to work with and the teacher's book. On top of that, I just do regular research online. Sometimes I'll watch like YouTube videos as well to hear feedbacks from other teachers, because sometimes you learn from each other. Even teachers here in my city, we will communicate with each other and learn from each other as well. So with all of that, I get to stay up to date with everything that's happening and give the best class to my students.
Most success stories I get is from former students who have now graduated and they have become English teachers as well. So that makes me very happy.
For me, it's when my students achieve. So for example, when I give them different words each week, and like for my K3 class right now, they are learning to read. So I have to give them like vocabulary and also story reading.
That like I inspire students to go on and become teachers as well, and also helping my students to pass their like CET4 examinations or English competitions that they've won first place. That makes me very happy.
So when I give them the words and then they're able to read the story at the end of the week, it makes me really happy. The vocabulary that I give them, it matches the story. So the words might be rose, planet, up, red, I, see, for example, and the story would be like, I can see a planet. So when they're able to remember the words and then read the story, it makes me very happy.
Honestly, I feel like, I don't do enough, but like to them, it's like I do a lot. And so it makes me really happy that I can help somebody in any way.
The parents always say that Anna is very good. Anna is very good. The students are learning, and that also makes me feel good, because if the parents are not happy, then it would be very bad for me. So it's good that the parents are happy and the students are learning. I haven't been in China for a long time. I came here in 2021. So I am not sure how it has changed over the years, because since I've been here, it hasn't changed much.
When I first started out, it was very difficult to get my students to talk. They were like just really so shy. But now it's like when your students see you, especially when you're a foreigner, they're like so eager to talk to you and ask questions.
You can just wake up tomorrow and there's like this big change, because for example, the borders opened in January here, and because the borders open, now more teachers are able to come in.
I think is like, you know, getting them to talk about things about, you know, stuff that they like to do, you know, what's their favorite kind of music or like movies, what type of food they like, stuff, you know. So getting them to open up more, because they never really had that chance or opportunity to do it like in high school, middle school as well.
As much as teachers are able to come in, parents who are able to take their children out of China and go and study overseas. So I think there may come a time when they don't require as much foreign English teachers.
So it's like they're so used to the teacher talk, and it's like now they get a chance to talk and, you know, be expressing themselves more.
What I would tell them is to have a plan. You should have a plan and you should have a goal. Like what's the reason why you're coming here? What do you want to achieve? Because when you're here, you're so far away from friends, family, everything that you love and cherish. So it's easy to get demotivated, and sometimes you feel so homesick and alone. So it's good if you know what you're about and try to stay focused on that, and know that being in China, it's temporary. You're just coming to achieve your goal, achieve what you set out to do, and then you're going to move on to something else. And it's very important to have patience. You should have patience, because you're coming to a place where you don't speak the language, you don't understand the culture, and if you don't have patience, you will get frustrated. You will land at the airport and you hear all this Chinese, you don't understand what's happening, you're trying to get someone to help you do something and you can't understand. Sometimes you're trying to use your translator and maybe the person that you want to help you, they don't have time to be looking at your translator. So you need to have patience and definitely have a goal when you come here, and try to stay focused on that. Definitely I would advise anyone to come to China. Actually, it's a beautiful place. You get to travel and see many things. Life is good here. Most things are cheap. Clothes, it's cheap. Food, cheap. Utilities, everything is cheap. Reasonable price comparing to what we're used to back in the West. So I would definitely advise anyone to come here, and based on what you earn and comparing to your expenses, you're able to save a lot more. So even if you work 1,000 in the US and you work the same equivalent here in China, it still would be different, because the expenses that you have back in the West comparing to here, it's completely different. So here you'd be able to save more. So I would definitely recommend anyone to come. You get to meet a lot of people, try a lot of different food, and just explore and experience many things. So definitely.